Guys, Samantha here and welcome back to my channel, and I am doing a speed build in Inzoi. I know it's been so long since I've done any speed builds, but I really have been enjoying building in Inzoi. I haven't done anything in a while, and a good majority of the builds I was doing was actually on stream, but I wanted to work on a build that was going to be used for an upcoming LP that I'm working on that you guys should see tomorrow if I'm if I'm planning this right. But I will show you guys some of the inspiration that I came up with for this build. It's kind of funny. I've been on this app called Red Note, which is supposed to be kind of similar to TikTok, but it's a little wholesome app. You know, it's a little something different just to kind of break the monotony of TikTok. And it's been refreshing because my TikTok feed kind of sucks right now. It's mostly political things and not happy political things. So it's really nice to get on Red Note and see like some different stuff. But I saw this one, I guess you could say it was like a house tour, but it wasn't even like a house. It was like a little lofty type thing. I'll show you guys here at a point while I'm while I'm recording this. But yeah, it was really cute. And I was like, oh, I want to recreate this. And I knew I had this LP that I was thinking of doing coming up. And I was like, okay, we can use that for that. But I really wanted to do like a duplex type thing where it's like two houses and maybe potentially she can have like someone move in next door. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to do that where I can just have like a separate area that's set up for like a rental unit or like maybe like another house. This acts like it's one address. So I'm hoping in the future they give us the possibility or the ability to have it where we can like have like apartments, but not apartments, but something similar to where it's like 5 or 6 units on one lot, and then you know NPCs or Zoids rather can like just kind of move in and move out and kind of like live their life. So it's going to be 2 spots. I started off with a budget of 30,000 because that's what Zoe start off with. But in order for me to build on this lot, I had to actually have her move into it. So we're using her money, but it's fine because I wanted her to start off with some meager funds in the beginning anyway. I think ideally I was thinking maybe she start off with like 50 to 100. I think when I was finished, she started off with like 120 if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, so most of it is being built with her funds, and the other half right now is just not being furnished right now. So eventually it will be furnished, potentially by whoever ends up moving in there, which I guess time will tell. But yeah, you know, with this build, it was just one of those things that I literally like. Sometimes I just see things IRL that ends up inspiring me to make it in a game and have like that really, I just liked how cozy it felt. It just felt really cozy. The decor in it was so cute, and I'm really hoping that I'll eventually be able to translate that over into decor that's in this house. But like I said, I didn't see the outside of the build. Of course, it was just her space, the one that was showing the video. And I was like, you know what? I kind of need like an outside inspiration. So I'll pop that picture here, kind of like the inspiration that I had for what I wanted the outside to look like. So you guys can at least get an idea of where I'm going with this. So I'm not a builder. Right, but I do like to take inspiration, like I said, from other things, and sometimes finding builds online or just like exteriors online like that I can be inspired by really help coming up with it. So I will say one thing: building an Inzoi is very tricky. You have to kind of like trick it to do things and play with different things in a way that I don't know, it's trial and error a lot. I don't know if it's the mechanics of the building or if it's something like that I'm doing wrong, but I really wanted the top loft to be like an open space. And unfortunately, when you start trying to build the walls, the game wants to automatically say, okay, this is a whole room, and it puts a ceiling on it. And then when it does that, it puts a floor, and then it's like, dang, I want to get rid of this floor. So, but as you guys can see, like the floor was like one big room as opposed to it splitting up into separate rooms, even though I had put the railing right there. So I had to keep like sectioning it off and then just trying to like manipulate the space to feel like, hey, this is two separate spaces. And then once it's two separate spaces, you get rid of that floor. And then that way you'll have that second story loft type thing. It does bite me in the face eventually, as you guys will see as we go along, because in the inspiration build, it's very open. Like even the top loft didn't have rails, it was just floor. But for the sake of me just making it look safe and realistic, I felt like I should put the rails there. Y'all, I struggled so much. Y'all saw me struggling with the ladder right there. That's going to bite me in the butt later as well. You guys will see. For some reason, I could not put a ladder right there. And then at one point I was like, well, maybe I don't need a ladder. And so I went into the live mode and she acted like she couldn't go in the building because it was too high up. But I wanted it to have like a little raise up thing right there. So anyway, I think my easiest thing to do when I'm building is kind of do like the exterior first before I even get into the interior. Like if you want to do different rooms and stuff, because I feel like how a building looks on the outside is the most important. I know it seems really weird, but I'd almost rather have a really nice roof line and a really nice exterior, and then I could just work with what I got on the inside. So I was focused on that because I really wanted to make sure that this build looked as close as possible to the inspiration. And of course I needed to put this little roof here, and unfortunately the roof just wouldn't go. It just wouldn't go. I kept trying to like put it there and it was going everywhere else. So then I realized, you know what, I'll just put like an extra box in front, then put the roof there and then scooch it back. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it, but literally I put like an extra square and then on that square, put the roof on that square and then scooch the roof back to where I wanted it to go. That's literally what I did, as you guys are going to see again. I literally put it on, then I scooched it back. As soon as I figure it out, yep, scooched it back and then went like that and then just eliminated the block that was there that can help me with the roof line. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how I was supposed to do that otherwise. I'm not even sure. And I messed up right there, so I had to go back in and fix it because I wanted to put those little posts on the outside. But I do love how the outside came out. I do recognize, like on the inspiration picture, it's just one building. So I felt like, you know, in order to make it have that duplex look where it's like a townhouse and two people are living there, I needed to duplicate it but mirror it. So that's the reason why it looks like that. This is me doing that same exact trick on the back because I wanted to have a roof line on the back. So I had to do the same little box thing. And then I saved it because I realized I hadn't saved it at all. And I was like, Samantha, if something happens to your game, because y'all, it crashes. When you have mods and stuff in Inzoi, it crashes. Excuse me. It crashes and it's like I have been having problems crashing. And so I took all the mods out. I only have like a handful now. And it's mostly clothing and hair mods. And I've just been doing that because I feel like the moment I put a whole bunch of heavy stuff in it, whether it's like furniture, script mods, more clothing, I don't know, shoes, whatever, it's like the game crashes. So the last thing you want to do is when you're like working on a build like this and you're already struggling with trying to manipulate places and spaces, just make sure you save often because yeah. So here I am just trying to do the coloring on the outside. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for the exterior paint. I wanted to do something fun, but I also wanted to do something that matched the surrounding buildings just so it can kind of look cohesive. Because sometimes the buildings, like it's really close to the other building too. I just saw that. But sometimes you could pop a building down and it looks so out of place. And I didn't want it to look out of place. I wanted it to look like it was always there. And it kind of went with the aesthetics on the outside. So I tried to stick with like the neutral colors, like the browns and the grays and the creams, which is why I ended up choosing that one. So just trying to paint all these walls, which is kind of, it's intimidating. Well, it's not intimidating. It's taxing. Oh, I saw something that caught my eye and I went to go look at it. But it's taxing because every little section has to be placed. Like every little section has to have like paint on it. And some of the sections is like broken up by little slivers. And it's me trying to make sure the roof and then do the roof line to make sure it matches and everything else. So I wish there was an easier way to paint. Of course, when there's one room, you could just select that one room. But some of them, like trying to do the side pieces, and if I had to add like an extra wall to make something longer, it would make it like a whole separate wall. So I'd have to paint that one. So I do like the copy and paste feature on some of the things, but it doesn't work with the walls, which I wish it did, because I felt like the copy and paste should work on things that are like the other things, like that are similar. And that's what happened with the roof. Like I used that same roof and I was able to copy paste the texture onto the other roof, and then, you know, but for some reason it won't let you do it on the walls. I'm not sure. The funnest part, trying to decorate the outside to give it like a look. I really wanted to do like some terrain, like some dirt. And I could have swore there's like little tiles you could put down, but I couldn't find them at the time. So I opted to go with these little planters since I couldn't put fake dirt down and look like I was planting something in dirt. So yeah, I went with those planters. And I wanted to do like a little play around with the heights and kind of do like two tall shrubberies on the corners, on the edges right there, and then do something a little smaller in the middle, which is why I ended up doing that. Ideally, if I would have had more money, I would have wanted to do like little paths from the doors to the sidewalk, but I'm not really sure. Besides potentially putting down a flooring, like just like making a I guess a room and then getting rid of the walls and then making it like just the floor. That's the only way I would know how to do it. I don't think there's terrain paint, and if there is, I haven't been able to find it. So it's one of those things. But anyway, here I am playing around with the doors because I really just put a door there to begin with because I was trying to eyeball how big it needed to be. I think when it comes to building, my challenge is probably finding like figuring out the size, like how big it needs to be in order to make it make sense. Because I've made really big builds and I'm like, why did I make it this build? And I've made really small ones where it's just like I can't do nothing with it. So I sometimes I'll just build a wall and then just put like a door and a window, just so I can kind of like eyeball, okay, this is how much it's going to be. So yeah, I just kind of put like a temporary one there. Okay, y'all, this is me trying to make stairs when I realized that the Zoi could not, in fact, just climb up those stairs. So I was like, you know what? It would not let me put stairs there. So I was like, I'll just make stairs with some platforms. But unfortunately, when I did that, it got rid of the roof. So I had to do this trick again. It's almost like you have to plan ahead of what you're doing so that way you can anticipate changes like this. Because had I known I was going to have to make stairs, make like a platform like that, I wouldn't have put the roof when I did. So yeah, so that was me playing around with that. And then I went and did it on the other side, which was oh so much fun because it did the same exact thing. But then I realized when I put the platform over here, it didn't do the inset into the first platform like it did on the first one. And I was like, wait a minute, I like how this looks better. So guess what I had to do, y'all? You guessed it. I had to go back to the first section and do it all over again, which meant I had to do the same little trick with the roof. And yeah, that was oh so much fun. Thank goodness for the copy paste feature, because me having to do that roof over and over again and then figure out what exterior I used. Y'all, right here, this killed me too, because I'm watching it back as I'm talking over this, right? It kept deleting the floor every time I put the platform next to it. I don't know why. And again, I don't know if it's me, like if it's a user error with me, or is it something with the game? Because like as soon as I put it back, it was like, yeah, no, it just deleted it. And it's so weird. So I had to rebuild it, which means when I rebuilt it, y'all, I had to rebuild the whole wall. I had to rebuild the windows again. I had to do all that all over again, just so I can make these fake steps, because it wouldn't let me put a step there. By this point, I literally thought I was going to lose my mind. I was like, should I have done this? Like I was so close to just going to the canvas and just finding a build. Like abort mission. It's okay though. Like I said, I do enjoy building in Inzoi. I feel like besides these little thingies that you have to kind of like play around with, that ends up being a challenge, I almost feel like it's easier to build in Inzoi than it is in The Sims, if I had to compare it. Because I feel like every time I play this, that's the first thing I get is, oh, how do you feel about it compared to The Sims? And I'm like, I feel like they're two totally different games. Sure, it's a life simulator. Of course, they share that genre when it comes to like the gaming genre. But other than that, it's a whole different game. I don't see it. I don't see it being like that. I don't see it being like, I don't know. I just can't see comparing them. But if I had to say, hey, I enjoy this and this game over that game, I definitely will say I enjoy building way more in Inzoi. But I can't even tell you why, because I'm not like big into building. Like I do enjoy building, but it's not like a must for me. It's not like I have to build. I know some people, that's all they want to do in Sims is build. Some people want to stay in cast all day long. Some people want to build all day long, and that's mainly what they focus on. But for me, I like the gameplay of Sims more. but the building and the cast, not so much. But building and create a Zoi in Inzoi, yeah, I could probably spend hours in that and be perfectly fine. So it's just kind of weird. I don't even know why that's a thing. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't even know why I feel so strongly against one over the other as far as the aspect of the gameplay. Because I do enjoy the gameplay of Inzoi, but I think because Sims has been around for so long and there's way more stuff you could do with all the packs and things, and then there's longevity because I'm playing with older save files or already have pending storylines or whatever. It makes it more appealing for me to actually play the actual simulation portion, like the actual gameplay on The Sims. But I do enjoy Inzoi gameplay as well. I do. It has gotten a lot better. I've been very pleasantly surprised at all the updates and things they have done that have made it a lot better. So for that, I feel like it's definitely going to get to where it needs to be. And I not that I was ever doubting that, because I wasn't, but I just feel like it's got some growing to do, which is fine because Sims had growing to do too. Sims didn't come out the gate being perfect, right? And it still isn't, if we're being honest. But it's just one of those things where I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't know. I think it just depends on what you're looking for in your gaming experience. Because some people might prefer Inzoi over Sims. And some people might be like, oh yeah, I'm never touching Inzoi because Sims got X, Y, and Z. But I don't know. Inzoi has so much potential and it has so much growth and so many customizational features. Y'all, I was playing around with these cabinets. I didn't know you could change the cups and the bowls inside of it. I was like, what? I will say this though. Looking at the inspiration picture or the inspiration video that I saw that made me want to build it, I was disappointed in myself that I didn't do a lot of whimsy in here. But I think for me, it got to the point where I was just like, I've been sitting here fighting with these walls and these roofs and trying to keep it, open 2-story space for so long. I just got impatient and I was like, I really don't want to start trying to look for, and I think that's the only thing that gets overwhelming about Inzoi, because while there is so many options for customization, there is also a part where you'll be like, dang, it's almost too much customization. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have as much customization, because we definitely should. But the inspiration house that I saw, she had like floral, it looked like grass. It looked like grass, like floral, like print on a rug. She had that. She had like, I don't know, just very cutesy little, girly, like very fun type of decor. And I was like, I could probably recreate that in here. 10 times out of 9, I could definitely recreate it in here. But it was the whole, I'd have to find textures. I'd have to like play around with which rugs work with the textures, because some of the rugs do textures well, some of them don't. And it's like the same way with the paintings, like, just playing around with, it's almost like you'd have to go shopping. I'm using shopping, like my air quotes. You'd have to go shopping around for like textures and things of that nature ahead of your build. So that way, when you go in, you could just kind of like just go in and throw that stuff in. It just gets to the point where I'm just like, I don't get impatient per se, but it just gets to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to play. Enough is enough. I'm ready to play. So I didn't get a chance to do any of that, and I kept it super generic, but it's fine because I feel like as we play and my character's personality can come through, then that'll help out. So here's where I made mistake number 1. I didn't realize that the floor had separated to do this whole raise up thing. I had no clue. No clue. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at it right now and it's super obvious. But at the time, I didn't realize it because I was trying to do the different paints. Now, I like the fact that they let you pick like tiles, like the sizes. Like you could pick a square and say, hey, I want it to be this. Because if you wanted to do like a checkerboard pattern, or you want to do like an alternating wood, I don't know why you would do this, but if you want to do an alternating wood and an alternating tile, then you could pick every other square, drop the paint in it, and then pick the opposite squares and drop the paint in it. Totally fine, but it's very time consuming. So I was trying to at least make the kitchen be one thing and then the living room be another. And at some point I ended up making them 2 separate levels. And I don't know what happened because once it made it two separate levels, it ended up messing up the outside. I might have cut that part because I was just like, because I think I stopped recording at that point because I was just like, no way, no way, I just messed this up. So I think we skipped over that. But yeah, it was a time. It was a time, to say the least. But yeah, so here's me trying to do, at this point I was like, maybe I should try to do something fun with the little area where she's going to be working at. I wanted her to have like a little desk area because she's going to be a musician. I want her to be a musician. So at that point I was like, maybe I'll do something different and cool. So I did pick this yellow couch, which is kind of weird because it has nothing to do with what's in here. And then I put some bear fabric on the pillows. I thought that'd be really cute just to give her something different. And so that was me messing around with that. And like I said, it got to the point where I'm looking at the money dwindle and I'm not even paying attention because I'm just like, decorate, decorate, decorate. And then I'm sitting here trying to clutter up everything and make it look lived in, make it look like there's all this stuff going on. And yeah, the money just kept on dwindling. It just kept on dwindling. But this was me trying to figure out what painting to put over here. I do love the option of customizing a paint. Like I said, I probably will come in here and change up some stuff to make it a little bit more personal to her personality and things. But like right now, I feel like we'll just deal with the basics. We'll just deal with the basics. At first I wasn't going to put a TV in here, but then I was just like, I could put a TV over here in this little corner. I feel like that'll be fine. So I put a little TV there. And then this is me trying to drop down a light fixture from that top floor. So that way we can have some light. I was going to put curtains here. And at some point, I'm not even sure what happened. It made that window glitch. So I had to rebuild that entire wall. Like I said, y'all, it got to the point where I was just like, yeah, I just want to get this done. Because I feel like the more stuff I was adding, the worse it was getting. Like, you mean to tell me when I painted the floor, it decided to make it two different levels? And then when I put a curtain up, it decided to glitch the window? Yeah, it's just time for me to get this done. So yeah, that was me basically doing that. And then look, the floor messed up again. You see it? It messed up again. And I don't even know what happened. And literally, I think it was me just like trying to figure out like what happened and then me trying to fix it. And I was just like, are you serious? Like, it, like seriously. And then I tried to raise it up to make it even. And then when I did, look what it did, y'all. It made all the floor the same color. I was like, no way. Then I had to go put the floor, the door and the window back again. And this is me just trying to fix the floor and everything again, y'all. It was an ordeal. I ended up putting a fake wall to kind of like fix the floor. At first I was going to get every single square and I was like, I can't even get the squares that have furniture on it. So I would have to pick up all the furniture just to get the square. So I just gave up on it altogether. And I think I ended up cutting here again. And I just ended up making a whole wall and just making it a whole room again. And at first I was going to put like a doorway right there, but it really messed with what I wanted it to look like because it's supposed to be open. So I was like, okay, I'll just put a doorway here. But eventually I was able to work it out. So it worked out fine, but it was an ordeal. But again, it's things like this just make me question, like, am I doing something wrong? Or is it just something still with the building mechanics that they're working out? It's still in early access. Like I said, I am happy that I was able to get it done how I was able to get it done. But it was just like, at what cost? At what levels of frustration? At what levels of I just want to cut the game off and call it a day? It's like you start losing fun with it when you're sitting there fighting over little silly stuff like that. This is me making the loft upstairs. It wasn't until I was making the loft when I realized I didn't have a bathroom. I don't see a bathroom in the original video. She might have showed it. I don't remember. I was just focusing on that first little, as soon as you come in, that view from the door that showed like the kitchen, the living room, and the loft. So, I'm sorry, y'all. That was a yawn. That was a really deep yawn. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. But anyway, so, I don't know where her bathroom was in the layout, but I felt like a bathroom upstairs would be fine. And I think the bathroom is pretty decent size. I ended up having a tub and a shower, which says a lot because I was hoping that there was one that had a tub and a shower all in one, but it didn't. It had one or the other, so I ended up doing that. And I splurged on her toilet, which probably wasn't a good idea once I realized how much money we spent on it, but It's fine. Anyway, so here I am. I think what I'm going to do though, as we play the LP, is just kind of like expand the color palette a little bit. Maybe I'll let her do some decorating and some redesigning of the rooms and the walls and stuff, because I feel like just out the gate, this is a perfect little, hey, I just moved in, which is exactly how we're going to say it. So anyway, this is me just adding some more windows and stuff, just trying to make sure everything looks finished. Again, that second side is not done. Oh, and me adding more lights and stuff, because I realized, like, man, I don't have enough lights. But yeah, that second side is not done. I probably will place this in the canvas. I don't know if I'll leave it. I might leave it unfurnished and then put one furnishing in the next one, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll get you guys some footage at the end so you can see everything. And yeah, that's basically it. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.